Okay, so we've all set. And good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning series. You know what I was just thinking today morning? Why did I think about a Monday morning series with all of you on LinkedIn Live and my YouTube channel, right? And it was like Mondays are so kind of branded about being low or Monday blues and all that stuff, right? But then here I am, Monday morning, coming up with lovely topics, interesting topics for all of you. And I'm hoping that some of you who are still kind of going through those Monday blues get to chirp up, like get up and look at it from a different perspective. So today morning, the topic is the silent killer of momentum, right? That's the decision depth. Basically, the decision depth is what we keep pending, and I've done it so many times. And even now at times we do it, without even realizing. We're just letting decisions be, right? And you say, okay, we'll think about it later, or let's look at it later. It just kills the momentum. So I'm going to start on this today's Monday morning quick 10-minute series. You can look at this video and here, sit across on your phone or on your system, or just listen to it as you're driving to office or as your day starts. Just put on your earphones and listen to it, right? So very important thing, as we say, we keep decisions aside and it kills the momentum. That's why I call it the decision depth, right? Depth. Now, most often, leaders don't fail because they make bad decisions. We always kind of, evaluate decisions with good and bad. It's not that. It's actually not bad decisions. It's slow down or delayed decisions that go to give you, outcomes that you do not want, right? So most often, 99% of the time, it's the slowdown, it's the delayed decision that brings you an outcome that you feel that you've taken a bad decision. So start this concept of a debt, right? Debt to be exact. Yeah. Just like how bank loans and various premiums or the EMIs and all those financial debts we have, this is a decision debt, which we choose to put aside for a later on time and then face the consequences of it. Every postponed decision quietly accumulates interest. And that interest is in the form of stress, confusion, lost momentum. You feel like you're doing so much, still not getting results. And this applies not just for business owners, founders, not the top leaders who are taking decisions. I'm talking about every team member, every individual. If today I had not got up and gone for my run in the morning, or today if I hadn't finished that, one document or a one, strategy discussion which I had to do, it will accumulate interest in the form of stress or basically confusion between people you're working in. So this applies for everybody. This decision debt is a backlog of decisions need to be taken, but you keep postponing. Like in your gut instincts, you know that you've got to take that decision, but you just keep pushing it, right? And it shows up like it keeps coming up. I've seen this so many times when I'm having these mentoring sessions or these meetings, or in as a marketing head or a sales head, when we're talking about goals or implementation of strategies, there would be this one decision keeps coming at you by some team member or by your own task sheet, and you say, okay, let's keep that aside, right? That's the worst thing that you could do for your momentum, for your outcomes. Waiting for one more data point. Oh, this happens so many times, especially in sales, when you got to pick up the phone and make the call, or just fix the meeting and go get the meeting done with a potential client, and you're saying, let me get the understanding of why they've not come back to us, or what are our profiles of the previous clients, or let's talk to the leads that dropped out to understand why. Just waiting for that one data point. or seeking validation instead of clarity. Before making that one decision or jumping into it or doing something, we immediately come to a point to like, okay, let me validate this thing. Let me validate this choice or this action and to see what it is. It's a clarity you need. And the clarity you get is when you get on with it. Indecision is still a decision. You need to keep that in mind. And I can't tell you how many times I keep telling this to everyone. It's an expensive decision that you're taking when you don't decide anything. You think when you're not deciding, you're not taking any decision. It's a decision that you've taken to not decide anything, and that's an expensive one. And most often, smart leaders tend to overthink. Tell me about it. The smarter you are, the intelligent you are, the more you've achieved, you overthink a lot. You've had this journey. I've been labeled as an overthinker way too many times in my life, right? And we overthink. And fear of being wrong, being judged, hurting a relationship, so, slows the decision. Because when we are overthinking, we're thinking about, am I hurting that person? Am I going to do this? Or what is it that is going to be the consequence? We think a lot. And especially for businesses which are growing, which are on the path of acceleration, every tiny decision is high stakes. Every tiny decision, I'll tell you this. 5 years down the line, when I had to get up in the morning and run for my more early morning, like start my walks or my routines, it was not something great, like, okay, I just have to do some walking. But 5 years down the line, after achieving the goals that I've achieved, after writing my book, after creating a line, like today, I've sold around 200 plus books right now already, not even a month, right? And it's not about the number. What overwhelms me is I've got 200 people out there reading my story and expecting me to be on that morning routine line, start line every single day. And that is high stakes for me. So now, for me, if I don't get up there and go out there for my routine, for my morning walk, my impact is not just for me. My impact is for 200 plus people who keep reading and knowing and following me up. And they see that Salma's not doing her stuff. So the same way applies for businesses, for team, what do you say, group work or targets or even personal things, like I'm giving you an example. So clarity doesn't come before the decision. It comes after the decision. Like if I would have been told like 5 years back saying, Salma, down the line, if you don't show up, you're not just going to impact your health, but you're also going to impact many others who'd be following you. I would have smiled and laughed out loud on your faces. But here I am, right? But how did I get this clarity? How did I reach here? Not because I was sitting and thinking about doing it, because I was doing it actually. So let's get on with it, right? Now, coming to the another, just last two very important points, right? How decision debt kills momentum. I told you this in the beginning. It kills momentum, right? Teams slows down, like your teams, your colleagues, or your people who are reporting to you. If you're in the decision making, they're waiting for your signal, and that demotivates them, does not inspire them. Priorities keep shifting due to lack of clear calls. Like today, if I don't give my team a clear task and action to get going with, and I make them on hold, something else is going to fill up. Something else is going to come up for them and they're going to get on with it. How are you going to keep their focus onto what is needed? And if you have leaders working along with you, they're going to get tired, busy, and not fulfilled. They're going to be busy, they're going to be tired, and feel like they've not done an exciting or a fulfilling job. Business experience misses opportunity. As business leaders now, you'll miss opportunities and low execution energy. The moment you miss opportunities, you start saying, yeah, I had done it and I didn't see the kind of results. So why should I do it again? It's inbuilt. It's human mindset, right? Hence, momentum dies in hesitation, not in chaos. Chaos and all that stuff is different. When you get into it, you might, I keep telling this to my team, right? When you get into cleaning your house, the moment you start cleaning your home, you're not going to have a spick and span place, right? Like perfect place. There's going to be dust all over the place. You're going to dirty yourself, your hands. You're going to mess the whole thing up. But then when you're done with it, your place is perfect. The same thing applies with decisions. When you get started with it, you're going to be chaotic. You're going to have things coming at you. You got to take decision after decision. But when you pass through it, is where your magic happens. Common places now. Here is where common of the time, most common times, leaders, people, slow down momentum by not taking decisions. Hiring or firing decisions. Oh my God, I can tell you 10,000 things. One day I'm going to have a series or a video live where only I'm going to tell you the thing. So many times I've done this where I've hired and fired with delayed decisions. I had to remove someone out for valid reasons, and I keep giving them chances over chances, or sometimes I don't even tell them that they are in. They just let's hoping internally. I'm hoping that they change. Pricing changes. The market, we don't understand this, but markets and customers, users are also evolving, are also learning their things, are also experiencing the overload of information. So the pricing changes has to be, fast, quick, fast pivoted, and we miss out on that. Letting go of underperformers, as I said, firing, right? My major mistake has been firing. I usually kind of go higher fast without thinking, this. I don't delay on decisions on that, but firing is my weak point, at least was. But yeah, letting go of underperformers, saying no to misaligned opportunities. Oh my God, I can tell you this. I work with a entrepreneur from a city, and you know, every opportunity that shows up, he's up and running, saying, "This is it. This will be the best. This is how I got to go." I think the most difficult thing for an entrepreneur, leader, team member is to say no. Saying no to misaligned opportunities is the key of a decision that usually we delay. Setting personal leadership boundaries. And this applies more for women. I'm not saying men don't, but more for women than men. But yes, setting professional boundaries. Because see, we women overall are a loving bunch, are a very comfortable bunch. When we kind of become comfortable with you, we are a happy go lucky bunch, even in a professional state. But drawing that professional line, saying that me being happy, me being friendly, me being, what do you say? Comfortable around you doesn't mean that you cross my boundaries, right? So these are decisions that cannot be delayed. You cannot build the decision debt in these sections. Last and final, how to clear decision debts. How to clear this? Fine, we've all accumulated this. We are all paying the interest in different forms. How do you clear it? Decide with 70% of clarity. Anything that's pending for you to be taking decision, don't wait for 100% track. If you are 70% clear on this, jump in and take that. Decisions and clear deadlines. Make sure that you clearly time box decisions and deadlines with clear deadlines, right? You take a decision and you say, this is where I'm going to give it my full shot for the next month or 15 days, and whatever come be based on the outcomes, I'm going to pivot, evaluate, and move on. Time box your decisions. Accept reversibility. Again, this is so important. When you take a decision, it's not permanent. You've not written it on stone. You've taken a decision, things not going as per thing, you've given it a deadline, you see where it's going, and then you can reverse it. Progress beats perfection. Every single time. I'm telling you this. I've worked with teams who keep pushing for perfection, right? Every single thing. But progress beats perfection. So, with that, we've come to the last And a very thank you note for spending these 10 minutes with me. One reflection question for all of you. What's one decision you've been postponing that's already costing you momentum, your pace? After this video, just ask that one question to yourself. What's that one decision you've been postponing? And leadership isn't always about being right. Please understand that. It's about moving forward responsibly. Join me every Monday morning for grounded leadership conversations, which you can apply if you're a business founder, business leader, startup founder, a team member, or just an individual who's trying to make the best for themselves. Catch you all next Monday.